My name is Briony Douglas. I am a visual artist and I build giant things, small things, and take photos. I grew up playing a lot of sports. I'm extremely competitive. I actually played professional badminton. I traveled all over Ontario. It's hard. I played soccer, track and field, cross country. I did play basketball. I was not good at it. I was too aggressive with my elbows, but I am great at horse. Over here is one of my favorite new toys that we have. This is our 3D printer. Literally anything you can think of can be printed, including miniature Louis Vuitton bags. We print a lot of cool stuff on there. And this is our laser engraver. This is our lounge area. This couch is from Steeltown Vintage. They're an amazing antique company, but it's from the 1930s. They refurbished it for us. And I could just sleep here. This is some of the Pantones that I've created. We store them here so that we can see them because you should show your art. How did I decide to fully become an artist? I was working at a newspaper at the time. The person that I was working for directly though, not so nice. And I was really struggling at the time. I had picked up a camera a month before that. I then was just like, my whole life was photography. I would wake up at 6 a.m., edit till I went into work. I would go home, I would shoot and then edit and then go to work. It was my whole life. And then I got published within a month on the front cover of a magazine over in Europe. So I was like, maybe I could do this for a living. And then one day that boss was quite mean. So I was like, well, you know what? And I just walked over to my computer. I typed up a letter of resignation and just resigned and was like, this is it. I'm just going to do art full time and put myself in a sink or swim situation. And then that's been it from there. Being from Toronto, basketball is just such a big part of our culture. I love basketball culture specifically for the fashion, because the fashion in itself is such art, right? Like you are literally making yourself into a piece of art and seeing people, dressed as they're walking onto the court or at the games, you're like, this is cool, this is inspirational for me, I'm saving this to my Pinterest and screenshotting and I'm going to wear this outfit. This is one of my favorite pieces we've done. This is a Formula One car to scale made out of 50,000 nails. And then over here is all the tools. So this is pretty wild because I remember 10 years ago when I first started, my tools were like a hammer, a hot glue gun, a screwdriver, but I still will always, I love a hot glue gun. These are our cool welding helmets as well. So this is one of my most prized possessions. This is my Raptors Barbie. They came out with the whole league, but I love her and I will keep her for forever. This is also a sculpture that we're working on. We are doing a melted basketball, which was printed in that 3D printer I talked about. And then we create a mold and then print them out for people to buy. And this is Gucci. He's the real star of the show. I know, I love you so much. He really just wants the croissants that are over in the box over there, but yeah. One of my favorite basketball related artworks that I've made is the Vince Carter Pantone. This piece was made using 9,120 tiny squares that say Carter on them. And what I do is I design it all and then lay it all down square by square, and then it creates this one iconic image. And a lot of my work has to do with the underlying conversation around community too. So it takes a lot for everyone to come together as one. And that's why there often will be 50,000 nails to make a car and 9,000 squares to make an art piece. I've used many basketballs and shoots to create iconic images. I love the juxtaposition of something hard with something would be considered soft, right? And I think in the first 4 or 5 years of my career, my art was very sad. It was very dark and gray because I thought that's what everyone wanted to see. And then I realized that I wasn't being authentic and that to, be myself and be happy, I wanted to show that through my art and the colors came out. And then I found that you know, I got an even bigger following by being who I was and representing myself as a woman in the arts. The main message that I want to just put out in the world is do what makes you happy. And I know that seems so basic, but I feel like ever since I walked in and just quit in the middle of the day, I put myself in such a sink or swim situation. And I think that for so many of us, it's really hard to get out of crappy situations. But like my message would be that like you can, and that you have to have the faith in yourself and you deserve to be happy. And that's why so much of my artwork is about trying to make people feel happy, right? Like I want you to look at my art and be like, oh my God, that's so cool. And like get excited and inspired and yeah, maybe just have a little joy.
Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.